Good morning. Today is Tuesday, December 14th, 2021. Today is a B day.
Candy cane graham sponsored by the class of 2024 sophomores. Each candy cane gram is $2. Pre-sale ends December 17th. Distribution will begin the week of December 20th in the homerooms. Order forms are circulating throughout the cafeterias and libraries. You are also able to order from your launch pad.
Good morning, Spanish Club members. Learn more about the Spanish culture this coming week. Join the Google Classroom of the Spanish Club to know more about the pasadas in Mexico. Traditional Christmas custom. Please see Miss Kennedy if you need more information about the Spanish Club. Code number. I'll see you there.
Asian and Pacific Islander Culture Club. All NFA students are welcome. Informational meeting will be held after school on Wednesday, December 15th in the main campus library. Please plan for a ride. We have no late buses at this time. A virtual option is available on our Google Classroom. Join code DAZMZDZ. Any questions, contact Miss O'Neill.
If you would like extra help in Spanish, sign up for the Empire program. Miss Pimentel is tutoring all levels on Tuesday and Thursday in room 145 from 2:20 to 3:50.
Miss Calder will be holding another round of auditions for the NFA Step Hip Hop team on Wednesday, December 22nd from 2:30 to 4 in the NFA Dance Studio. Please come dressed and prepared for tryouts. Also, packets will be collected and given out if this is your first time trying out. Please see Miss Calder periods 4, 7, or 9 in your room 236 if you have any questions.
Attention Spanish Club members, please check the Google Classroom for the Spanish Club using the code that was assigned before to appreciate the diverse Hispanic culture.
Class, please take out your notebooks and write these notes down. Where's my pen? Where's my notebook?
You are going to use these notes for your quiz today.
It was a good thing that I was prepared for class.
The Colonnade magazine is looking for student work for the annual publication. Please submit your poems, short stories, plays, or photographs, artwork, doodles to the Colonnade advisors, Mr. Walls and Ms. McCurdy. Feel free to contact them with any questions at rwalls@necsd.net or vmccurdy@necsd.net.
The Empire program will run on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2:20 to 3:50 p.m. There is no busing yet. Please see Mr. Cruz in 264 or Miss Salisbury in the main office for more information and schedules. Seal of Biliteracy is in room 213 with Miss Van Reyes and Miss Mendez. Music will be in 258 with Dr. Carroll. Building Beautification is in room 138 with Miss Me Show. If you already are registered, report directly to lecture room upon dismissal. Other activities will be announced soon.
As a reminder to our students, you must have your ID with you and visible at all times. There will be various security checks throughout the building where ID will need to be present. If you are in the hallways after the bell, if you do not have your ID, you will be detained.
The Poetry Out Loud competition is a national organized program where high school students are scored based on their skill of memorizing and performing selected poems. The two highest scoring students from Newburgh Free Academy will have the opportunity to compete against other Hudson Valley students at SUNY New Paltz in January. Winners on the regional level proceed to the level of state and national level for a chance of winning some of the $50,000 prize money that is awarded during the finals. The NFA Poetry Out Loud competition to determine the two local winners who will win the honor of continuing to the regional competition will be held on Tuesday, December 21st. Interested students should see Mr. Waltz in room 143 or Mrs. McCurdy in room 273 for a list of approved poems as well as the rules and regulations for the competition.
Thank you for watching. This has been Newburgh Free Academy News.
Good morning. I'm Declan Welling, your host for Game Clock. Winter sports has officially started, and the bowling team has kicked off their season with 2 wins and no losses. The varsity swim team lost to Washingtonville 103-80, and they will play FDR on Monday. Now for the weekly wrap-up with host JJ Seglio.
Welcome to the first edition of the weekly wrap-up, where we cover all of this week's games in a nutshell. We start off in South Beach, where the struggling New York Football Giants took on the red-hot Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins defeated the Giants 20-9 off of 2 touchdowns from quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. The Giants fall to 4-8, while the Dolphins extend their winning streak to 5 games and improve their record to 6-7. Going back to East Rutherford, the Jets were beaten by the Eagles 33-18 off a great game from Eagles backup QB Gardner Minshew and tight end Dallas Goedert. The Eagles bounced back from last week's embarrassing loss to the Giants and improved to 6-7, while the Jets continued to slump and fall to 3-9. The Los Angeles Rams snapped a 3-game win streak with a 37-7 win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Matthew Stafford had a big bounce-back game. He found his favorite target twice in Cooper Kupp while also throwing Odell Beckham Jr. a touchdown. The 8-4 Rams look to defeat the 10-2 Cardinals on Monday Night Football. On Monday, the New England Patriots faced off against the Bills in some of the worst wins of the year. The Patriots had to rely on the run game as they defeated the Bills 14-10. The Patriots only threw the ball 3 times in this game as the winds were too strong to get any passing offense. The Patriots have now won 7 in a row and improved to 9-4, while the Bills have lost the lead in the division and fall to 7-5. The Patriots are back, and this is not good for the NFL. The Dallas Cowboys have had a very up-and-down season, losing to the Raiders, Chiefs, and Broncos, but routing the Patriots, Giants, Eagles, and so on. The 6-4 Cowboys went down to the Big Easy to face the 5-6 Saints on Thursday Night Football. The Cowboys went on to win 27-17 after a good performance by the Cowboys defense, getting 4 interceptions, setting up short drives for Dallas to put points on the board. The Cowboys improved to 7-4, while the Saints slumped to 5-7 and have now lost 5 in a row. It was rivalry week in the Steel City as the Pittsburgh Steelers played host to the Baltimore Ravens. The game came down to the last play. The Steelers were up 20-13, and the Ravens scored with 12 seconds left to make it 20-19. The Ravens decided, instead of trying to tie it, to go for an unorthodox way to end it, a 2-point conversion to win it. They were stopped, and the Steelers hung on to win 20-19 and improved to 6-5-1, while the Ravens fall to 8-4. History was made in the Motor City. The impossible happened. The 5-6 Vikings faced the 0-10-1 Detroit Lions, and for a good amount of the game, the Lions were winning. But the Vikings scored with 1:30 left in the game to give them a 27-23 lead. It all came down to Lions quarterback Jared Goff to drive down for the win. On 4th and 2, down by 4, Goff threw a game-winning touchdown, and for the first time this season, the Detroit Lions have won a football game. They won 29-27. The Lions improved to 1-10-1 and are somehow still alive in playoff contention. Meanwhile, the Vikings are soul-searching and fall to a 5-7 record. Things were heating up in Cincinnati. The Cincinnati Bearcats were the only undefeated team left in college football at number 4, until a bolt of lightning hit Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. The Bengals were one of the best teams in the AFC and a legit division contender at 7-4. Going into their matchup against the 6-5 Chargers, this was supposed to be a good game. It was not. The Chargers dominated right from the start as Justin Herbert threw 3 touchdown passes in the 41-22 rout over the Bengals. The Chargers improved to 7-5, while the Bengals fall to 7-5. Here are the other games that I missed. The Arizona Cardinals defeated the struggling Bears 33-22 to improve to 10-2, while the Bears fall to 4-8. Arizona plays the all-in LA Rams on Monday night and opened up as 2.5-point favorites. The Washington football team defeated the Las Vegas Raiders 17-15 on a game-winning field goal to extend their winning streak to 4 games and improve to 6-7, while the Raiders fell to 6-6. The Indianapolis Colts traveled to Houston and dominated the Texans 31-0. With this loss, the Texans fall to 2-10 and are now eliminated from playoff contention, while the Colts improved to 7-6. The Buccaneers defeated the Falcons 30-17 in Atlanta. The Seahawks upset the streaky 49ers 30-23 in Seattle. And the Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Broncos 22-9 on Sunday Night Football. That's all we have for today for the weekly wrap-up. I'm JJ Seglio. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you week 14.
There's an MLB lockout currently, after players and owners have reached a disagreement. There is no telling when it will end, but since the MLB has had a tough past 2 years, it will probably be before the start of the regular season. The Rangers are on a 7-game winning streak. In the NBA, unvaccinated players now cannot play in Canada. This shouldn't be too big of an issue because over 95% of players are vaccinated. Thank you for watching Game Clock, and sadly, LaMelo Ball is injured.
Gabby Rivera is a 35-year-old queer Afro-Latina who started writing when she was a teenager. Gabby struggled growing up with figuring out who she is as a person and who she identifies as. She grew up in a strict religious household with one other sibling. Gabby started writing poems and short stories when she was in high school.
I had no idea what I wanted to do when I grew up or as an adult or anything like that. I think maybe when I was in like middle school or high school, maybe I wanted to be a therapist or something, but as I got older, it got even like less and less clear what I wanted to do. But I knew that I wanted to be a creative person. I knew that I had to go perform poetry. I knew I was writing my stories and I just wanted to keep writing. As somebody who's like a little bit of like gender queer in presentation, right? Like I don't like fit society's like stereotypes of what like a woman should look like, you know, or like someone in a professional work environment should look like. So part of me was like, what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna fit, you know? And so when I was thinking about a career path, I was like, I only want to be somewhere that I can be totally myself. I don't have to be in the closet. I don't have to change how I dress. I want to just do me and work hard. And pretty much it's like the creative industry is like the only industry really you can do that. And so I kind of just fell right into it. You know, it's funny because in my family, there are no other working artists besides me. Like, people have different jobs. They're teachers, they work at law offices. You know, it's a lot of different stuff, but I'm the only, like, working writer, creator person, right? Mm-hmm. So, inspiration, I think, came from the women that I saw, like my mother, our tias, whatever, working hard at whatever they were doing. And always making sure that they got their stuff done well, job done right, like always pushing themselves to be better. So I think I had inspiration in that way. And then in the creative field, I literally just had to forge my own path, you know?
Gabby is represented by New Leaf Literary.
Gabby is wonderful. She's one of the most positive people I've ever met in my entire life. Which makes her a pleasure to work with, of course, but she's also just extremely talented. Like, I don't know how we managed to get a client that is both lovely, super talented, easily accessible. So she's just a pleasure to work with, and I don't know if any of what you've read Juliet, but Juliet's just very dear to my heart. It's a great coming-of-age story, so getting to work on an exciting project like that with someone like Gabby is just amazing.
Here we go. Okay, my YA novel, Juliet Takes a Breath, came out in 2016, and it is totally like based off of an experience that I had. I fell in love with this book, and I made an internship happen with the author. So little Puerto Rican me went to hippie white Portland, Oregon. I had a wild adventure, and somebody encouraged me to write about it. Like a woman writer was like, you should write about that. And so I did. And that just, I don't know, it was like I had to tell this story. Once I got into it, and once I realized, like, man, this could be really something. Like, I don't think I know of any other, like, stories about young Latinas from the Bronx that are navigating their identity, their sexuality, like, and I don't know if people do it in, like, a fun kind of way either, you know, like, the book has jokes, you know me, like everything, like it can't just be all serious, you know, our lives have like humor in them, and so, yeah, so Juliet Takes a Breath was definitely a reflection of me and the kind of creative work I wanted to see out in the world. Juliet started off as me. I was trying to just write exactly what I experienced. And then somewhere along the way, like another like writer friend was like, she can't be you. And if the character you're writing is you and it's not an autobiography, then you're too close and you're not letting the character guide you. And I was like, what? You know? So I had to take a step back. I literally put Juliet down for a year because she was right. I didn't know who she was beyond my own experiences. So after a year, I came back and she became her own character. I could feel it. I could feel the difference, and I just wrote that. So yeah, she was me, and then she wasn't, and now she is like her own entity. She is her own character, and I like it like that.
Gabby is very quirky, funny. She's actually pretty reliable, considering that anytime we needed something, she was always there and would have our back. Like if you were stuck in like trouble, she would always say, "Oh, just call me and I got your back."
To say I'm done and start over and do something else. Like when I was working in TV film industries, I couldn't work my way up no matter how hard I worked. It was definitely all white guys at the top, and they was only bringing in other white guys, right? And so no matter how hard I worked, I couldn't get even a PA gig in a writer's room. Nobody in the mainstream industry would listen to me and take me serious. And at a certain point, I was just like, I'm done with this. There's gotta be another way. And so I think like for us, for queer people, people of color, for anyone that is like, that doesn't fit this quote unquote mainstream ideal, you really have to do it your own way. So I said, no, I'm good. I'm not playing this game. I'm gonna teach. I'm gonna work on my own writing and my own filmmaking, and I'm gonna figure it out that way. And I don't need you. And I don't need your rejection, and I don't need your judgment to like make something of myself, you know?
You know, I think Gabby will be one of those names that people know. I don't necessarily think that she has a career in acting ahead of her, but she's going to be one of those screenwriters, one of those directors, one of those authors that's a household name. At least that's where I hope she'll be. And hopefully soon. I would say next 10 years. Household name, Gabby Rivera. Everyone wants to work with Gabby. Literally everyone. People coming out of the woodwork, and you're like, they're like, oh, I met Gabby at this one event. She wanted to do this thing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that never happened. Like, no, everyone wants to work with her, from students to actors and actresses that are famous. Can't even tell you, getting emails from famous people. Literally, Justice Sotomayor, like, wanted signed America copies. Like, everyone wants to work with Gabby.